Welcome to Lesson 1, the 6-time gates, the foundation. Over the next several minutes, you will learn the 6 specific times each day when gold produces the highest probability directional moves. These are not opinions. They are structural features of the global financial system, verified across 68 charts spanning October 2025 through June 2026. Let's begin. XAUUSD operates across 3 major trading sessions each day. The Asian session runs from midnight to 8 a.m. South African time. During these hours, liquidity is low, ranges are tight, and price tends to consolidate. At 10 a.m. XAUUSD, London officially opens. This is the deepest and most liquid session for gold. Then at 3 p.m. XAUUSD, New York opens, bringing fresh capital and the highest probability inflection point of the entire day. The 6 time gates, 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. mark the session transitions where market behavior shifts predictably. The overnight box is the price range established from 9 p.m. XAUUSD, when New York begins winding down, through 6 a.m. XAUUSD, when European liquidity first enters. Mark the highest high and lowest low between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. This box represents overnight accumulation and distribution. While price is inside the box, the market is asleep. The break of the box represents resolution, which side won the battle between buyers and sellers. If the box width is less than 15 points, market has compressed and prepare for a potentially explosive breakout. At 6 a.m. XAUUSD, the first European liquidity enters the market. Algorithmic systems in Frankfurt and Zurich begin their pre-London positioning. The first 30 to 60 minutes after 6 a.m. often reveal the day's first meaningful directional impulse. But here's the rule: do not trade at 6 a.m. alone. The 6 a.m. bias is information, not a trigger. Log the direction. Use it to anticipate 9 a.m. Only enter at 9 a.m. if A+ confluence is developing. The 9 a.m. time gate is your first real opportunity. London officially opens at 10 a.m., but by 9 a.m. pre-positioning is already visible. When the 9 a.m. candle breaks decisively out of the overnight box with a body greater than 50% of its range, the breakout direction continues as the dominant trend approximately 70 to 75% of the time. The critical condition, the break, must be decisive. A weak break with a small body or long wick is not a signal. It is noise. Do not trade a weak 9 a.m. break. Wait for 10 a.m. London open. The 8 p.m. flip candle is the 20 o'clock to 21 o'clock XAUUSD candle. This candle sets overnight bias. When the 21 o'clock close has a body greater than 50% of its range and closes near its extreme, overnight continuation occurs approximately 70% of the time. In this bullish example, the 20 o'clock candle breaks above the late afternoon range with conviction, and the 21 o'clock close confirms above the breakout. This is a reliable signal to hold overnight or bias for the next morning session. Here's the opposite scenario, the bearish 8 p.m. flip. Everything starts the same. Price has been consolidating through the late New York afternoon. But at 20 o'clock, the flip candle breaks below the range with a strong red body. The 21 o'clock close confirms below the breakout point, setting the overnight bias to bearish. The same rules apply. Body greater than 50%, close near the extreme, no long wick showing rejection. When these conditions are met, the overnight bias is reliable. When they are not, predictive power drops to 50, a coin flip. The 3 p.m. time gate is the single most important in the entire system. The New York Open at 15 o'clock, XAUUSD produced a decisive directional move in 52 of 68 sessions, that is 76.5%. In this continuation example, London established a bullish trend through the morning. At 3 p.m., New York agrees with London and accelerates the move. The 15 o'clock candle body is greater than 50% of its range, minimal wick, and breaks the London session high. This is an A+ setup. Enter on the first pullback to the 15 o'clock candle 50% level. Now, the opposite at 3 p.m., a reversal. London had a bullish trend through the morning session. But at 15 o'clock, New York disagrees. The 15 o'clock candle closes against the London trend with a large body, taking out the last 2 to 3 candles of the London move. This happens in approximately 40% of decisive 15 o'clock sessions. The reversal typically runs 30 to 80 points from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Enter in the 15 o'clock direction at 3:15 pullback. Stop 12 to 15 points behind the 15 o'clock extreme. The 12 o'clock London lock is a trend filter I discovered from analyzing the 68 charts. By 12 o'clock XAUUSD, London has been open for 2 hours. If the 12 o'clock candle closes with the morning trend, meaning the 6 a.m. through 9 a.m. direction, that trend continues through 3 p.m. approximately 70% of the time. If 12 o'clock closes against the trend, expect a reversal at 15 o'clock. Use 12 o'clock as a filter to manage existing positions, not as an entry trigger. At 6 p.m. XAUUSD, London has been closed for 1 hour. Only New York remains and liquidity is thinner. This is where trends either climax or exhaust. In this example, the trend from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. exceeded 1.5 times the Asian range. The 6 p.m. candle has a long wick against the trend with a small body. This is the exhaustion pattern. When you see this after a strong trend, take partial or full profits. The move is likely done. Do not initiate new counter-trend positions at 6 p.m. as a standalone strategy. The SR flip is the single most reliable structure pattern. When price breaks through a support level, that level becomes resistance on the retest. When price breaks through resistance, it becomes support. In this example, price tested the resistance 3 times, then broke through with a large bullish candle on the 4th attempt. 2 candles later, price pulled back and retested the exact level. The retest candle showed rejection with a lower wick, entry at the bounce. Stop 8 points below the flipped level. This is an A+ setup when combined with a time gate. The consolidation break is the coil unwinding. Price oscillates within a tightening range for 4 or more candles. Stop orders accumulate above and below the range. When one side finally wins, the break is explosive. In this example, 8 candles of compression with shrinking volatility. Then a decisive close above the range with body greater than 50%. Entry at the close of the breakout candle or on the first pullback to the broken boundary. Stop 10 to 15 points behind the opposite boundary. Target: the width of the consolidation range projected from the breakout. The false breakout is the most profitable pattern when identified correctly. Price breaks a level with a wick, triggers stops and breakout entries, then immediately reverses and closes back inside the range. In this example, price wicks above the key level, but the body is small and closes back toward the range. The next candle confirms the false break by closing back inside. Everyone who bought the breakout is now trapped. Enter in the reversal direction at the close of the confirmation candle. Stop 10 to 15 points beyond the false break wick extreme. The touch and reverse is the simplest pattern but requires the most discipline. Price approaches a known support level and reverses on contact. In this example, the support level had 3 prior touches with strong reactions. Price approaches with momentum, produces a hammer candle at the level. The wick touches support, the body shows rejection and closes away from the level. Entry at the close of the reversal candle. Stop 10 to 15 points below support. This pattern is significantly more reliable when it occurs at a time gate, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., or 3 p.m. Let's recap. A trade only happens when all 3 pillars align. Time tells you when to look. The 6 gates, 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. XAUUSD. Structure tells you what to trade. SR flip, consolidation break, touch and reverse, false breakout, or the hunt. Level quality tells you where excellent levels have 3+ touches with strong reactions. The confluence score adds all 3, time plus structure plus level quality plus a multi-time frame bonus. Score 9 to 10 is A+. Score 7 to 8 is A. Score 5 to 6 is B. Do not trade. Anything below 4 is a skip. The system eliminates guesswork. It gives you a numerical score that determines whether you pull the trigger or walk away. In Lesson 2, we will deep dive into the Confluence scoring system with real examples. Thank you for watching.